Hi, my name is Shelley Jones. I am the CFAR, the UCLA-CDU CFAR CAB coordinator, and it is my honor and pleasure to introduce you to our CAB today. I'm not going to say too much more. I'm going to actually just turn it right on over to them. So without further ado, we're going to turn it over to Shawn Pleasance, who's going to be followed by our lead CAB member, Lynnea, Railey, and then we have Raul Amezquita, and we have Maria Scott. Thank you.
Well, it's still morning, so good morning, everyone. I want to talk to you a little bit about the UCLA-CDU LA CFAR CAB, affectionately known as the CAB. Go ahead. There we are. It was started virtually as a planning group in June of 2021, named after our first lead CAB member, Darren Aiken, who is no longer with us. We would like to take a moment to honor Darren and all those we've lost along the way, if you don't mind. We're made up of a diverse group of 13 community members. That's 12 members and one lead CAB member. We have virtual meetings currently on the last Tuesday of every month. The LA CAB focuses on impacted local communities, ensuring that research is responsive to their interests and needs, which may result in new areas of research. Some of the LA CAB goals are to provide input on proposals and study materials, support the CFAR Summer Institute and CCIT Core, plan and host an annual LA CAB conference, promote activities of the CFAR, and research studies. Additionally, we have worked with the Global CAB, collaborating on projects such as an intersectional stigma journal article. Thank you.
I just wanted to quickly go over some of our accomplishments, which we have a few, as you can see. But I wanted to highlight a few of the things on this list. The first of the things being the 2 meet and greets. That doesn't give much context to what that is, but the meet and greet was basically where we had a dinner with different CABs from Los Angeles. We invited the CAB members of different organizations to come and just have dinner and talk about what their CAB was doing. The last of the 2 that we did, we focused on a collaboration with the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles Youth CAB, which was more so about seeing what we can do to help them as well as what they can do to include the voice of the youth in the work that we do. That's something I'm very proud of, being someone who grew up HIV positive and coming from that youth position to now being one of the grown-ups at the big kids table. The last thing that we've just recently accomplished was the inaugural LA County CAB E4 conference, which is to educate, empower, engage, and elevate. It was a day-long conference that was put on and hosted by the CAB. We all just, sat down and talked about what was important and what we wanted to hear about. We invited different researchers to come and present to us, and it was a beautiful event. We've got raving reviews. You should have been there. Next, I want to talk about the peer-reviewed journal article that was recently just submitted. Thanks to Dr. Laura Bogart. She helped us put together, from the last thing I want to talk about, number 17, our tip sheet. She helped us put together a journal article, which was submitted just last night, where we were all given co-authorship and acknowledgments for actually creating that document. One of the other accomplishments I want to speak about is the CAB bios and taglines. We were able to help each CAB member put together a bio of the work that they've done, because lived experience matters. Lived experience matters just as much as the experience that the researchers have, because we're actually living day to day the things that you guys are interested in learning about. So with that, my voice matters in research. That's our tagline. Each CAB member was able to put together a short but very powerful statement of why their voice matters in research. And each member here, you see on the stage with me, has their poster around the room. Some of the CAB members who are not here also have their poster around the room. And at this moment, I want to acknowledge 2 CAB members who are here, one of them being my mother, Patsy. Hi, Mom. And Mallory. Mallory surprised us. We didn't know Mallory would be here. We would have bought your poster, but we didn't know you were coming, Mallory. So Mallory is also one of our CAB members, and she has a very beautiful poster as well. And I just wanted to take a moment to read mine to you, and then the other CAB members here are going to read theirs as well. I'm Lynnea Railey. My voice matters in research because Black women in America have been silenced, disrespected, and unappreciated for too long. My voice is fueled with passion for change. Stigma, guilt, shame, and fear have caused many of us to hide our faces and swallow our words. I speak for those who can't. I can be an inspiration to others, and I know that HIV research can result in a cure. I've never known a world without HIV, and because of research, I hope to see a cure within my lifetime. Raul?
Hi everyone, my name is Raul Amezquita. My voice matters in research. My voice matters in research because as an immigrant, even though English is not my first language, and I didn't grow up in the American culture, my participation in clinical research studies is crucial to finding a cure. I believe we need to talk more about clinical research, and if we do, you and I can make a difference. Mi voz es importante en la investigación. Mi voz es importante en la investigación porque, como inmigrante, aunque el inglés no es mi primer idioma y no crecí en la cultura estadounidense, mi participación en los estudios de investigación clínico es crucial para encontrar una cura. Creo que necesitamos hablar más sobre la investigación clínica y si lo hacemos, usted y yo podemos marcar la diferencia. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, or morning. My name is Maria Scott, and my voice matters in research because I know that research saved my life. I have always participated in research since I was first diagnosed. I was part of the research where they learned how to dose medications for women. I expect to continue to participate in research until the day I die. And then I plan to donate my body to science so that the research can continue even after I'm gone. My voice matters in research because I know my participation in research continues to make a difference.
Well, that quickly, it's now good afternoon. So my voice matters in research because I want others to have better health and more options than I had 28 years ago. A lot is still unknown, and I needed a way to not only help myself, but to find hope in a grim situation. My experience has been overwhelmingly positive and life-changing. Participating in research projects has allowed me to directly contribute. With each project I participate in, I am changing someone's life. Knowing that gives me hope and helps me believe in myself.
Thank you, thank you. So the next accomplishment I wanted to discuss in more detail is the tip sheet that we created. So during our meetings, as Shawn mentioned, we meet for once a month, 2 hours, last Tuesday of the month. Really not a lot of time spent meeting together. We would invite researchers to come and present to us, and during that time, a lot of us would just sit silent, and that's not common for our group because we're really talkative. So we started to ask, like, what's going on? Why do we not have anything to say to these researchers when they come to present to us? And we came to a conclusion that we didn't understand what they were saying. So Shelly Jones, who is the CAB coordinator, she gave us an idea, like, why don't we just, give them something in advance to let them know, these tips are important to give you what you need from us, and so we can get what we need from you. Follow these tips and we'll be able to understand you. So the tip sheet includes communication strategies, practical presentation tips, and explanations of what that means. So one of the things that we ask that is really important is to have them put a slide into their presentation to remind them to stop. Just stop. Don't talk at us. Let us talk with you. Stop and give us a moment to ask you questions. And that was really one of the most effective ones that we had them do. And all of the researchers who actually took the time to do that have gotten better results from us, and we've understood what they were saying, and it was a really lively conversation after. So another accomplishment, we were able to put on a panel at the Summer Institute held at Charles Drew University. And after that panel, we were told like it was the event to be seen. So we wanted to recreate that panel for you guys here today. It's not the exact same, but we're gonna give the CAB members a chance to answer some questions and give you guys a little bit of feedback from us. My first question is gonna be for Shawn. How's your participation in the UCLA-CDU C4 CAB affected your personal health outlook?
Well, my participation has brought new hope to my outlook. Learning about new studies and how they can impact the health of people like me who are living with HIV reminds me of the progress that is being made in prevention, treatment, and someday cure. I am able to learn about the latest discoveries and challenges that exist in all of these endeavors. And more importantly, I'm able to give input and help shape not only my health outlook, but the health outlook of all those who are affected. My participation has definitely brightened my outlook.
Thank you, Shawn. Did you guys hear Shawn?
Oh.
Okay, good. I just noticed the mics are being turned on. Like, did you guys hear him? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I just wanted to add to that. One of the first things that we did in our CAB was go over the research participants' Bill of Rights. I didn't know that existed. So that's something I gained from being a part of this CAB. Thanks, Shawn.
You're welcome.
Raul, my question is next for you next. What did you learn as a member on multiple CABs? Because you serve on a few CABs in LA, right?
Yes, I'm a CAB member of 5 CABs. And I have learned that every CAB functions in a different way, but something that doesn't change is that the information that is provided in these CABs, it has to be out to the community through me, because that's like my job, to bring that information to these people that I know that, especially talking about clinical research studies.
And how, if you can take a second to describe some ways that you disseminate that information to the community?
Sure. I spend a lot of times in HIV support groups, so I talk to them about all these clinical research studies.
Thank you. Maria, how has participating in research made a difference in your life?
Well, not only have I participated in research for HIV, 30 years ago I was part of taking a AZT, and through the years I've always gotten the best drugs, the newest drugs that were coming out. So over the 30 years I have maintained my non-status, and I've also I was cured of hepatitis C. I was on a reprieve study that lasted for 7 years. That was for taking statins for heart, and that came out very favorable. And let's see, what else did I do? That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Maria. I have another question for you, Shawn. How do you put into practice the things you've learned from participating in a CAB?
Well, when I participate in research studies, I'm able to ask better questions and feel empowered to give feedback to the research team that I'm working with. For example, just recently, I signed up for a study in which the coordinator did not know what determined the frequency of visits, the compensation, or how they would notify me of the study results upon its completion. The coordinator had to find and verify the answers that I needed. I now know all of this information, and so does the study coordinator. This information was very important to me and helped determine if I was going to show up for that initial interview. As a result, I was able to make an educated and informed decision.
Yeah, and I know for me personally, I actually read the informed consent now. I didn't do that before. I mean, coming from a person who has been involved in research my whole life, my mother used to have to sign the consent form, and I just do what mom says because that's what you do. I kind of took that mindset into my adult life, and the doctor was just like, oh, well, if you want to do it, we'll give you $25, just sign here. I mean, they do more of a job explaining it, but that's what I heard. Now I read it for myself, and from that, a few things I say, not for me, thanks. Make those decisions based on what actually works for me. Raul, I have a question for you. What barriers did you overcome as a person who participates in clinical research studies?
As you guys can see, I had the barrier of the language, but I think my main barrier was to change my mindset of thinking that clinical research studies are safe, and with this, I'm giving back to my community.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good. Maria, what was it about participating in research that has been difficult for you?
Well, sometimes the blood draws are a little much. You know, I get kind of anxious when I go to some of these when it's time to give blood, because I have to work myself up in my mind that it's okay, you know, even if they take 20 vials of blood, it's all right. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this, you know, and it's, you know, it's kind of hard, you know, when you. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
I want to personally thank you for your contributions, Maria, because
Thank you.
you've done a lot. You've been involved in research from the very start, especially with the research around AZT.
Oh, yeah.
I am the mother of a HIV-negative 9-year-old little girl, thanks to AZT. So thank you, Maria. And with that, I would like to thank the other CAB members who are present and those who are not present. I'd also like to thank the Community Engagement Clinical Informatics Core of the UCLA-CDU CFAR. Again, I would like to thank Dr. Bogart for her help in creating the journal article. I want to thank our CAB advisor, Shelly Jones. I've known Shelly since I was 7. She was the first social worker that my family was introduced to when we found out that we were living with HIV. My family. And Shelly is, my daughter calls her Nana Shelly. She's my other mother. So thank you, Shelly. I also want to thank Andrea Jones, who is CFAR staff member who basically does all the administrative work that the CAB needs. She's always there for us. Whatever we need, she's on it, and we just so appreciate her. And again, my fellow CAB members.
So as you can see, what a treat, the pleasure that I get to work with these CAB members monthly and daily sometimes as we prepare. We really prepped for this presentation. We hope you like it. We hope you'll visit our website, and we hope that you'll go to our CFAR Instagram page, which is cfar.ucla.edu. We have 141 followers right now, and there's 350 people in the room. So I'm kind of hoping we can double our followers today. Let's see what we can do. We'd appreciate that. And we'd like to open the floor for some questions if you have any for our CAB members.
Tom Bellin from UCLA. That was a terrific presentation, and I was just wanting to know the extent to which the meetings are open to be joined. I mean, you sort of highlighted that, but I was just curious how, is it kind of invitation only, or is it open for participation?
So we're open for participation and invitation only, and I suspect after this meeting, we're going to have to prioritize, since we do meet monthly and we do have some other CAB business that we work on, but we have created another form where anybody who wants to present to our CAB can let us know that you'd like to come. Right now it's just an email to me, and then we haven't to date had too many people who were interested in presenting, so we have been able to do maybe every once in a while 2 researchers per meeting. Lynnea can talk a little bit more about what happens when the researchers come to our meetings.
So yeah, is this thing on? When the researchers come, they first have to, according to our tip sheet, present to us in advance their slides for what they're going to present. Shelley and I look over them and then give feedback on, if there are any words that they need to break down, or if it's too much, if it's like not succinct enough and to the point. They go back, they reconfigure and resubmit, and then we disseminate the version that we think is something that is digestible by our CAB. We give that to the CAB members in advance. They look over it, come up with any questions in advance so that they already are prepared when the researchers come. Then we have the researcher come, they do their presentation. Again, put those slides in to ask yourself to ask us questions. That way we can have a conversation. It's really a smooth, easy process after, the first initial red pen goes through the slides.
And we don't do too many red pens through the slides, but we also have supported with letters of support. So sometimes researchers come with research that they're preparing to submit, and they want our opinion before the research is submitted. And that came up yesterday, where sometimes the research happens, and then you try and get the community buy-in. We like it when people come to us before the research has been submitted to get the community buy-in, and also some ideas for what research might be interesting.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jasmine McKenzie. I am from Miami. I am an executive director of a Black trans-led organization called the McKenzie Project. So,
We can't hear you.
Right there.
hello, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Take it off. Okay, so yeah, again, my name is Jasmine McKenzie. I am the executive director of the McKenzie Project, a Black trans-led organization in Miami. My question to you all is, how is Black trans people incorporated into your CAB?
Mallory, would you like to come up to the stage for a moment?
Yep.
This is Mallory. She's one of our CAB
Hey,
members.
Mallory. Y'all gotta say hey to Mallory too now.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I hope you can hear me. Thank you, Shelley, Lynnea, everyone at the CFAR CAB. I was invited about a year ago in the preliminary stages when we were kind of like getting everything figured out. And one of the things that was asked was, what voices need to be present in this space. And Shelley was really great with saying we need more Black trans women in these spaces. And so here I am.
Okay. Now,
We really took a lot of time and patience in making sure that we had inclusion from all of the communities in our CAB. Right now we have an opening for one person, and we are holding that spot for youth because we don't have anyone under the age of 30. So we're trying to make sure that all voices are heard so that we can actually give the researchers what will be helpful and beneficial to HIV, not just one person.
I may have a Black trans young youth that may be available for that. I would like to get y'all information, and I can connect y'all for that.
Thank you.
That'd be
Thank you.
great.
We also have a trans male on our CAB because we thought we want to include as many diverse voices as possible. We have people who English is not their first language. We have a prep member, and we are almost 100% community CAB. And so we think our CAB is unique in that way. We don't have academics on our CAB, and I think that our content experts do an excellent job.
And
Thank
we're all
y'all.
31.
Yes, we're all 30.
We're all 31.
Okay, we have room for one more question. You guys want to rock, paper, scissors?
Mine's so fast. Maybe we can do two.
Okay, let's
Jill
do it.
Blumenthal, UCSD. Do y'all get paid to be on your CAB? And if you do, how are you doing that? And how can we disseminate that to other CABs where people are not getting paid for their time?
That's not a short question.
Okay. I was just trying
the
to get
short-
both of us in.
The short version to that question is yes, the CAB members are incentivized, and at the break, we'd be happy to share all of that information with you. It's been a process, and it's changed over the course of the 2.5 years. And I saw one more. We were going to try and squeeze in that last one. No? Okay. Run.
Risa Flynn, I work at the LA LGBT Center. I want to just thank you all for the work you do, for your time and dedication, your expertise, because it's your lived expertise that makes the work that we do real and impactful. My question is, so I love hearing that you are able to have investigators come and present their work before they are submitting grant applications. And I would love to just hear how you manage that in the context of the very short time frames that investigators have to submit grant applications. So do you have people coming to you who, you know, have a deadline in a week? And how do you deal with that?
They come to us when they have an idea for research. They come to us for our ideas for research. They come to us when they have deadlines. And in that, when there's a deadline, we just, as much information as you can give us, as early as you can give it to us, the better we can help you. We've been able to submit letters of support to be added with the grant applications to show that they have the approval of a CAB, or they've come to a CAB and gotten input from a CAB. So just as long as we know what the deadlines is, we're able to help and work out as much as we can.
We do meet once a month, and so for researchers who have deadlines, they've approached us to have special meetings with the CAB that are outside of our meeting time. We have asked for those to be incentivized because the CAB member time is valuable, and so we've worked out that with other researchers. And in fact, one of the letters of support that we worked with Dr. Bogart, and her study did get funded, came to a special meeting to get input from the CAB. And we do meet virtually, so it is relatively easy. We meet from 6 to 8 p.m. in the evening, and then we can schedule you in or outside of those times. And then you don't get the benefit of the full CAB, but you get whoever's available.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.